After confirming, I turned myself to head to the register but ended up slamming into someone. My body felt like it hit the rigor mortis stage when a cold bucket of terror stiffened every possible muscle in me all at once. The chips in my hand fell to the floor as quick as me and I burst into uncontrollable tears. My quaking body shielding my head waiting for a harsh impact. As for my bodily fluids, when I have to use the bathroom she takes me to the backyard or forces me to go in my crate. We live nowhere near others, it's a small country home, so even if I get outside privilege nobody can see to help me. When my period comes around, I have to bleed on myself. She doesn't let me out of here during that time so I can't complain too much. I have to sleep in chunks of my uterine lining once a month for a week. I'm a heavy bleeder which makes it much worse, that's also the only time I get to bathe. She's the one to clean me, touching every crease of my body with a moldy sponge. She doesn't trust one won't drown myself. I wish she'd just kill me if her hate is as strong as it seems, except she couldn't be without her punching bag. I know as long as she lives, I don't get to. Who told you that you can sleep? I heard her shriek, jolting me awake as fear waved down my spine. My leg was grabbed and I felt my body being pulled out of the crate. My face was met with a pair of bony knuckles. Put these on, you're making a run for me. She demanded, shoving the clothes against me and I shakily grabbed them. I didn't hesitate sliding on the baggy clothes from my position on the ground. It was a hoodie 4 sizes too big and a pair of sweats that were too big as well. They were the exact same things I wear every grocery run. They cover my bruising and malnourished figure from questioning eyes. Nobody approaches me when I look this unappealing and that's her goal. If I made contact with someone I couldn't imagine the way she'd hurt me. I've never once spoken to anyone other than her or my father throughout my life. A few years after my beatings I decided to stop speaking altogether. My voice angered her and made it worse, she'd barely let me finish when she slammed worn-down shoes at me. I hastily slid them on, knowing if I hesitated she'd have my head. I then frowned at the newly forming hole on the side of the right shoe, seeing her stomp over to the front door and click it unlocked. Now get the fuck out of my house, you have an hour to get me the blue tachus. She spat, clicking a timer on her phone and granting me access to the outside world. It takes me 25 minutes to get to the store if I run. She always gave me horrible time frames, yet I knew better than to do anything of it. My body crawled to the door and she kicked me onto the porch. The second the door slammed I shot into a standing position and bolted. My vision was patchy at first due to my lack of nutrients, but I pushed through, knowing I have no time to stop. My eye gazed up into the rainbow sherbet sky as a distraction from the aching my body screamed at me. A flock of birds flew toward what appeared to be the never-ending horizon to a new world, a free one. I wish I were a bird, all they know is how to be free, they live to be free. The corners of my mouth tugged upward at the beautiful sight. Unfortunately the smile that fought my frown never won its place on my lips. Jade would put me through the worst torture of my life if I ever tried to escape. She uses her phone to track my location at all times. Besides, she knows the terror she inflicts me into and she's aware of my silenced voice. She damaged my throat to ensure I'd never talk again if I changed my mind. I was able to make noises when I chose to mute, but they quickly became annoying to her. She decided to shut me up completely and permanently. The store came into view and I pushed my body over its limits, holding the pants up as I rushed through the automatic doors of the empty store. I spotted one cashier and no customers, thank God. I lowered my head and trudged down the aisles, stopping when the familiar purple and blue bag came into view. I started my way toward it and grabbed it from the shelf, putting my hand in the pocket of the hoodie to make sure the card was still there. After confirming, I turned myself to head to the register but ended up slamming into someone. My body felt like it hit the rigor mortis stage when a cold bucket of terror stiffened every possible muscle in me all at once. The chips in my hand fell to the floor as quick as me and I burst into uncontrollable tears. My quaking body shielding my head waiting for a harsh impact.